Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. I thought I'd do a slightly different video today. People keep sending me screenshots of a Damian Broderick Wikipedia page, which for some reason Google have somehow mixed me and an Australian author together. An Australian author who is like in his 70s or 80s or something like that, but they have my photo next to all his information. So I thought, in the interest of openness, why don't we answer some of the most Googled things about me. I'm not sure this is a good idea, but nonetheless we shall do it. So let's get right into it. Is Damian Broderick Irish? Yes, I was born in Dublin. Both my parents are born in Dublin, but my dad did grow up in Manchester. He moved there when he was a small boy and moved back to Ireland in around his late teens. I think so. He'd done all his schooling and stuff there, but I am in fact Irish. Damian Broderick age. I am 32. I was born on the 30th of the 7th, 1991. Damian Broderick height. Now there is a fan page thing that kind of goes into some of, like, it tries to go into some of my family history and my height and stuff, and they have me down as 6'1" and 70 something kilos. I am 63 kilos and I am 5'8", so certified short king. Damian Broderick football. So I did play football growing up, decent levels. I technically play for a football club here in Dublin at the moment, but it's really difficult to find the time to commit to it because I'm traveling quite a lot. This end of the year is kind of like your business end of the year in terms of influencers, like with Christmas and stuff like that, like the Q4 of the year. So this is by far the busiest day of the year. For example, I have at least one thing in the calendar, probably now till May. So it's very busy time. What was next? What on earth was that? Damian Broderick partner, or Damian Broderick wife. So I am, at the time of recording this, what the actual fuck? At the time of recording this, on the 24th of September 2023, I am in fact single. I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. The kid you see in some of my TikToks, Ethan, is in fact my nephew. I have 3 siblings. I have an older sister and 2 younger brothers. Ethan is the son of my older sister. So no wife, no girlfriend, no kids. If you want in on a little trade secret, so to speak, so I do stack 2 rings on my pinky finger. So there is this band and then there is my signet ring. If you ever see the band move from my pinky ring to my ring finger as if it's a wedding band, that's when you'll know I have a girlfriend. Similar to like when people wear a claddagh ring, so it's like an Irish claddagh design, and if you wear it facing one way it means you're single, and if you face it the other way it means that you are in fact in a relationship. Not that I get lots of attention when I go out. I actually don't go out that often. I don't go out like clubbing or anything like that. It's more like restaurants and stuff. But if you ever see this band, this little gold one here, if you ever see this on this ring finger, that means that I'm in a relationship. That means that I'm seeing someone, that I have a girlfriend, and that's it. That's the thing. So as of right now, as long as it's on my pinky finger, it means I'm single. If it goes onto the ring finger, it means that I'm not single. So as of the time of the recording, I am single, but I'm not relatively single. I'm not out dating and stuff like that. I have the dates with a girl, and I quite like her, so we'll see how that progresses. Damian Broderick, Peaky Blinders. So I obviously have absolutely no affiliation with the show, other than both me and Killian live in the same area of Dublin. Yeah, I actually don't even like the show. I liked season 1 and a bit of season 2, and then I just thought it got a bit nonsensical. I didn't really enjoy it. I don't actually watch that much television. I think the Peaky Blinders is probably a top Google search because of the Peaky Blinders inspired outfit videos that I've done in the past. Where did Damian Broderick go to school? So I'm originally from the north side of Dublin. I went to a Christian Brothers school in Artane called St. David's CBS. I think Brian McFadden from Westlife also went to that school. So that's where I done my normal kind of schooling, your mandatory schooling, and then I went to St. Kevin's College. It's a community college. I went there and studied photography and digital imaging, and then I went to UCD, which is a university here in Dublin, and I studied marketing and digital marketing. Is Damian Broderick a model? No. I mean, technically no. I'm only 5'8", so I don't meet the height requirements to be signed to an agency as a model. But I guess you can say that I do model clothing, but more so my own clothing and for my own content. Yeah, it's very rare a brand will hire me to model their clothes. This one says family or religion and boyfriends. It also says that I'm 6'3", and I have grey eyes and brown hair. So my hair is like really dark brown, borderline black, and I think grey is probably a good way of describing my eye colour. It's kind of mixed between green and blue, so it does kind of go. It's probably a bit grey. It depends if the light is hitting it in certain ways. It'll look more blue if the light hits it. Religion. I grew up in Ireland, so we all grow up Catholic here, pretty much whether you like it or not. So I'm 32, when I was enrolled in school here in Ireland as a child, you had to be baptised to get into an Irish school. That's obviously changed now because we've become a lot more culturally diverse, and there's lots of children from lots of ethnic backgrounds that do their education here. So it's a very good thing that's changed. So yeah, I grew up Catholic, so I was baptised as a Catholic. I made my Holy Communion, I made my confirmation. Hopefully one day I'll be married, but yeah, I'm not a practicing Catholic or Christian. I think Christianity is the same thing. I'm not practicing. I don't go to church on a Sunday, but that's my religious background technically. Is Damian Broderick gay? No. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, I'm just not. I think there's this kind of idea that if you look after yourself, if you put time and effort into yourself, that kind of self-care, you care about how you look, care about what you dress like, things like that. I think there's this kind of narrative that's perpetuated that you must be gay. I'm sure there's gay men out there that don't do any of those things, the same way there's straight men out there that do. But to answer that question in short, no. Is Damian Broderick related to Matthew Broderick? So I'm assuming they're referring to Matthew Broderick, the actor from like Godzilla and Inspector Gadget, who's married to Sarah Jessica Parker. I mean, the short answer is no. The long answer is I don't know. I mean, we share the same last name, so there is obviously a possibility, but the short answer is no, we're not. But funny enough, my youngest brother is actually called Matthew, so technically I am related to Matthew Broderick, just not the one that you're thinking about. Where did the click click clap come from? Okay, yeah, so basically that started kind of like a habit. So originally it was like on the back of the hands like this, not a clap. It was like this and this. So it would alternate like this, and that was my way of remembering like a to-do list. So I do a to-do list every day, and then I go through that list because I don't like carrying it around. But this was like a physical stimulation for my brain to remember each thing on the list. So it was like, okay, I need to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this, and this, and this, and then I generally remember what's on the list. So when I was shooting the videos, it was okay. So like intro, trousers, shirt, tie, waistcoat, jacket, shoes, scent, timepiece, yada yada yada. And then the clap was actually for the audio because it's recorded on a camera, and the mic setups, and the clap was to spike the audio to make sure that it was all synced in post. Always, the camera is generally just rolling the entire time, so I was going like this, and then I'd clap and go, it's Tuesday, let's get dressed, and then I would generally edit all of that out up until the Tuesday, let's get dressed. And even then, that phrase, let's get dressed, and if you scroll back to the very first let's get dressed video that I ever done, is actually a reference to another creator which we've actually connected quite a few times online now, called Sammy Jeffco. And I literally said in the great words of Sammy, let's get dressed. That was my first ever one of those videos, and then I made them every day since then up until very recently. They're not as daily now because oftentimes my life does not allow them to be as daily, but that's where the click click clap came from. Click click clap. Yeah, it was just a thing for me to remember each of the shots to get while filming, and the clap was to spike the audio, and then it just became a thing. And the very last question asked is Damian Broderick's net worth and Damian Broderick's job. So we're obviously not going to discuss net worth because it's bad manners to discuss money in a public domain, but job we can talk about. So my job history, let's go through. So my first ever job was working in a supermarket, and I worked there for a little bit before moving to men's clothing stores. Worked in them for quite a number of years. I worked in retail for over 10 years while I was doing all my education. So got my first job when I was 16, when I was still in school, and then continued to work all the way up through college. And then once I finished college, I got a job in marketing. So I worked for a magazine, and then I worked for a men's clothing store, and then I worked for a cosmetics company. And then once my social media took off and I was getting very busy with that, and lots of people were giving me lots of opportunities to do really cool things and earn money via social media, I quit my day job and became self-employed. So what you see on the internet is technically my job. So I make content, I'm a content creator, I am an influencer, whatever way you want to call it. That is how I earn my money. So now there is plans to change that and deviate away from that. We don't want to be an influencer forever. It's amazing right now, and it's fun, but we eventually want to find somebody, we eventually want to have a family, we eventually want to get married, settle down, and then so we're thinking very long term here in terms of leveraging our audience to bring out a product or to get us into a brand, like the way like Molly May, I think, was like a creative director of like Pretty Little Thing or something along those lines. So you're going to leverage your influence, quote unquote, and your audience to be, you know, either put into a position in a company and that becomes your day job, or you build your own company, you bring out your own products, your own line of clothing or aftershaves or whatever they may be. So that is the long-term goal, is to start bringing out products and turning it into more of a brand, as opposed to you're just a TikToker or an influencer, or you just do this and get dressed. So there is a long-term plan in place. We know where we want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's what I do right now, but it's not what I'll be doing forever. So I hope you found this interesting. I find it really strange sometimes that I say so little words in a lot of my videos on like TikTok or Instagram, for example. I mean, there's probably 20 words in the entire video, and the videos are always, you know, roughly 60 to 90 seconds long. But people always seem to have these grand notions and ideas of who I am, and the funny thing is, like, I'm an open book. If you ask me, I'll tell it. I've absolutely nothing to hide. I am just a normal guy that is very, very lucky to live an extraordinary life. So yeah, I'm also very, very responsive in my DMs. So if you ever have any questions at all, just shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'm more than happy to answer it. But yeah, those are my most Googled questions, I guess. I hope it answers some of your, I hope it tickles your brain in a way that there's probably less to the imagination now that you kind of know. But that is it in a nutshell. I know it's not a very exciting video. I know it's you know, not, you know, a vlog where we're off on like hot air balloon rides and Porto, like you saw in my stories, and you know, whatever it is. But I just thought it'd be not only interesting for you guys to hear the truth, I guess, but also it benefits me by you guys. But also it benefits me for you guys to actually know, because then it leads to less guesswork. But as I said, I'm an open book. So just like that, that is my most Googled, that is the most Googled things about me, answered by me. I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, I love you guys. Goodbye.
Ba 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 ba.